I'm William. I'm 11 years old and I'm allergic to nuts, peanuts, sesame, flaxseed, and mustard. I first discovered my allergies when I was 3 years old and I was at a coffee shop and I normally had like tons of smoothies there. And my mum bought me a new smoothie that I haven't tried before with flax in it. Not
Mm.
knowing, of course, that I was allergic to it. And then I drank it, said I was feeling funny, but my mum thought I was just being mischievous. And then when we got back into the car, I threw up, and my dad took me up for a shower,
Mm.
and so I was covered in hives. He knew something was wrong, and he hurried me to the hospital quickly.
And Steph, what was it like experiencing Will to have this first reaction?
It was probably the worst moment of my life. We didn't know what was going on. We'd had no experience with allergies before this. My husband had the common sense to realize it was an allergic reaction. I'd never seen anything like it. Within a matter of minutes from us walking into the house, his body was swollen with hives and he was coughing and couldn't seem to catch his breath. And then, of course, hospitals being hospitals, they didn't have great mobile signal. So for about 3 hours, I had no idea what was going on. So it, our first experience hit home how serious allergies were from the start.
You had that first reaction. Thankfully, you didn't have to use an adrenaline pen.
No, he was monitored in hospital, and we're still not 100% sure what the treatment was, but he was given 2 doses of, I guess, the adrenaline medication, but we're not 100% sure how.
Right.
They just kind of put him in a room and they administered it that way. But he did have a secondary reaction at home. We were given oral antihistamines to take then to treat that, and then we ended up having to take him back into hospital to be monitored.
It was very hard because, like, as soon as I got into the house, I threw up. And when my dad took me upstairs, which was quite quickly, again, I threw up again. So it was continuously. And
Mm.
it just came
It was
from
scary.
out of nowhere, and then it just changed everything.
Yeah.
One moment I'm fine, the next moment not.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, actually, just to say it changed everything in that moment.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming you got a skin prick test or a blood test and you found out about the other allergies?
Yes. That's how it happened.
What's really weird is that you could safely eat some of them beforehand, before his reaction.
I used to be obsessed with peanut butter. I used to love peanut butter.
And Nutella.
I don't think I was obsessed with Nutella, but I knew I definitely ate Nutella. Um, I think I discovered my allergies when I was about 5, and then I just when I got myself tested, all the nuts were of different levels, and obviously we don't know how good a skin prick test really is in terms of accuracy, but they were just like avoid all nuts besides walnuts.
It's pretty hard to know which one is actually pure walnuts, isn't it? Really, so you kind
Yeah.
of have to avoid all of them. Yeah.
I do actually eat walnuts just straight out the packet for lunch because I find them really nice, and it's like if I'm going to have one luxury and if I'm able to do it and they're really good for me, I'll go for that. But yeah. Do you find that you have to exclude yourself from certain things, for example?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, if I see a whole group of people, normally I don't sit by them because I know at least one person has brought in something with nuts in it.
Mm. Okay, so that
Yeah.
that one time that you went to hospital, they treated you with whatever it was, potentially adrenaline in a vial or in a drip, but you haven't actually used a adrenaline pen.
No.
Cool. But I'm assuming you carry two on you at all times.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Good.
I do carry them. My mum does half the job. Probably more than half.
Do you I mean, I think I probably showed you this when I saw you at the Free From show, but my little bum bag that my school gave me back in the day. Do you have something similar, or?
Yeah, you have red sneakers for Oakley.
Yeah.
Actually,
gave me one
because he wants to be a red sneaker ambassador.
Oh, That's lovely. Do you have a spare
Yeah,
set at the school of your own, or is it like
We have it at the school, but
that's in a mid pack.
that's in a med pack, and also we just left, so we don't
right?
have it in there now.
So you said your allergies do cause you a bit of, you feel a bit excluded sometimes. Sometimes you can't do things. Would you say you get allergy anxiety, as people like to refer to it nowadays?
Yes, definitely. And anxiety is one of the big problems about having allergies because, like, especially with pollen allergies, because some people think pollen allergies are like hay fever, and it kind of is in a way, but it can do a toll on someone when they can't go out because of that allergy,
Yeah.
and they are just excluded from everyone just because of they have that allergy, and it really doesn't make you feel good when that happens.
So how do you and Steph, how do you both deal with sort of managing your worries and fears around your allergies?
It's all consuming. It takes over everything, doesn't it? Having an allergy, where you go, where you eat, who you're friends with. You've got to make sure that you surround yourself with people who actually understand allergies, not just the severity of it, but also what to do if you have an allergic reaction. So I think with Will's, unfortunately, Will's also got quite severe pollen and dust allergies. So, over the summer months, he can be excluded from activities in school, which
No.
doesn't help. And then if you take into account the fact that he can't eat the same things as his friends at such a young age, plus adding on then being excluded from activities, it was a lot, wasn't it? It was a
Yeah,
bit.
it just sometimes adds up, and then you get anxious about everything
And sometimes a bit angry.
and angry. Yeah, yeah,
So you obviously run an account called Positively Allergic, which I think is a
yeah,
lovely phrasing of it. And I do find from following your content, and obviously for a lot of people, you guys do put quite a positive spin on it. I think you obviously deal with a lot, Will personally, and Steph as well, always there to support him, but clearly you're putting out positive messaging of what you feel like people should know about allergy, so that hopefully together we can be more aware and prepared about it.
I think that's what we try and do is we try and talk things through, don't we, Will?
yeah. We talk
It's like
things through, and you can have negatives. Like being truthful and having negatives is not a bad thing. Being truthful and having positives and negatives is a good thing.
Mm.
You don't want all positives because positive, even though it would be great, you can't always say that about allergies. Allergies can change one person's life forever.
It's a really nice outlook on things. I think it's also um, very real. People don't realize it's a daily burden. It's a daily inconvenience. It's on your mind 24/7. Every day can be different to the other. There's a general public perception around allergy which is incorrect compared to what most people live with. So I think it's so important we get that message out there.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And I think when we started on the allergy journey, it was so easy to read the scary headlines. That's it. He won't be able to go out. He can't have fun with his friends. He can't go to birthday parties. So Will and I set out to say that it is realistic. There are positives out there. And that's what we're going to try and hold on to. Down moments, absolutely. And we do share them now and then. But most of the time, we always try and put a spin to it that makes it just that little bit easier and a little bit inspiring.
yeah.
and so, is there one thing that you wish people knew more about allergy?
But one thing you can do is teach them how to use an EpiPen. An EpiPen can save a life, and that's a very important thing to do.
Steph, do you mind if I ask you on that note of Will, obviously mostly being by your side or around a parent or guardian when he's going to be out and about who has an EpiPen? I remember the same with me. My mum was practically by my side at all times with my adrenaline pens. And then you hit that cliff where you grow up and you're more alone or you're more dependent on your friends. How do you feel towards that?
Petrified. Truthfully, it's absolutely petrifying. I have been able to protect him, to be able to make sure that he was always included in activities. We've done a lot of work with that. But in the background, we've also been preparing him for the fact that he has to take charge of it. So about a year and a half ago, he started carrying his own EpiPens when we go on family days out.
Mm.
His two best friends, their families all understand allergies and they know what to do in an emergency. Um, we're kind of forced as allergy parents to know that this day was coming, and all we can do is prepare and hope. That's why Will and I both feel it's really important to teach others how to use EpiPens. We're not going to change the perception on allergies.
Mm.
People will find a plethora of reasons why allergies exist, and try and blame it on other people. But what we're trying to do is allergy education. So get them to know how to use an EpiPen, heaven forbid, like Will having an allergic reaction, they know what to do.
Mm.
And that's all we can hope for. But I'm very proud of the person he's becoming. And he had his first outing with his best friends last Sunday. I did not sleep the night before. And we text pretty much the whole time through. I had to say, just text me you're alive. Just text me or send me a selfie, something. So he was pretty much on his phone most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
Best we can do is tell people what it's like to live with it and hope that they can understand, right?
Yeah. They can say, they have their own perspective of allergies, but that's the only thing I really want to say. Like, it has a very big mental effect.
You didn't choose this. You didn't choose to have allergies.
I didn't choose to have allergies. That's just fate.
You've got more allergies than me, to many degrees, but at the same time, I think people are becoming so much more aware of it than they ever were when I was younger. And you are doing so well to speak about them, understand them yourself, and prepare the world for them. So well done to you, and well, to both of you.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you for this as well.
You helped out a lot.
Well, we wanted to say thank you to you guys, because what you're doing is absolutely changing things. You've created such an amazing invention, and it's going to change the world, and it's going to encourage more people for allergy education, and that's what we want. That's what we're hoping for. So thank you to Kit Medical as well.
Thank you so much for that.